Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today this is just going to be a bit of a quick pickups video because at the weekend I went to go and see my mate Andy over at Vintage Electronics Repair. I went to take him an old late 1940s Bush radiogram, which I'm never going to get round to doing anything majorly with, and I know he likes that kind of thing, so I passed that on to him, and he passed me some stuff on, and I thought that's what we'd go through in this video. We might as well start with the first item, and this is quite cool because it's what we've just been playing with, because one of the first things he gave me was a BBC Micro. Now apparently this belonged to one of Andy's mates who has a few of them, and he likes dabbling, shall we say. I won't hold it against the chap, but he likes dabbling. And to his credit, I think he's got one working. This one, I think, is one that he's had a go at and then perhaps thought, perhaps I'm in over my head here. We'll have a quick look at it in this video, and like I said, we'll probably see this in its own own video. This is exactly how it came to me. One really nice thing, you don't see this very often, is it hasn't had the little piece of plastic punched out on the keyboard there. It's perfectly intact, and actually the case on this one is in nicer condition than mine, so I'm probably going to end up making one absolutely mint BBC Micro for myself, and then a goodish second BBC BBC Model Bs. Keyboard on this apparently works, but that shift key there's dead. Yeah, the button's actually gone, but seeing I do need some spare key tops, I've got a few spare key switches, brand new ones, but I have no spare key tops. And I do have a BBC Master 128 which is needing a couple of key tops and switches, so I'll probably be able to do something with one of the keyboards and salvage what I can. We'll see about that anyway. We'll pop the top off, and this is the first thing. This is how it came to me. I think they've all dropped out as well, but basically we had an envelope, and this envelope basically has most of the main silicon for the BBC. Was basically, that's how it came. So we've got all the chips there off the board. We've got, he included quite nicely a power supply rebuild kit. Not that I'll be actually using all this, because I don't like them reefer band capacitors. I'll be changing that for something else. I might even be changing a few other caps in there, but it's nice I've even got that. It's missing an LED off the keyboard there as well. It's missing the speaker, but that's not a major issue, it's just a little PC type speaker. So the case is really nice on it. The motherboard, unfortunately, you can't really tell from here, even if I zoom in I don't think you'll tell, but basically the entire motherboard has been completely drowned in WD-40. I'm guessing this was probably kept somewhere damp at some point, because even the modulator there, there's no top on it, but that's not a problem. But there's the modulator is just corroded. It's almost like rotted away in places. I might even have something I could possibly put a new one on, replace that, I don't know. So yeah, this is going to be another project. Obviously the board's going to need cleaning, all these chips are going to need reinstating, power supply is going to need rebuilding, but well, the other thing is this is a much later issue board. My other BBC Model B, I think, is an issue 3 board. This is an issue 7 board. So this doesn't have the same issues with getting composite colour out of it that the earlier boards do. It actually even has the capacitor installed, and all I have to do is solder a little wire link in the back there, and it would output colour composite, no problem. But yeah, so that's going to be a fun, interest. Oh yeah, and it even came with, Christ knows how old these are, but vintage dog ends. I'll clean all that. I'll clean all that out. But yeah, so that's what we're going to have coming up as a project. That was quite a nice. That was quite a nice freebie, really, because I mean, these BBC Micros are getting more and more sought after, and that's certainly a viable one to sort out. Because I'm not sure what we'll do keyboard wise, because I know I need more keys than I've got actual keyboards. Let's get that out of the way for a second. We can go on with the rather other cool stuff that Andy also gave me at the same time. He also gave me an old Media Center PC, but I won't show that on this video because it's in the other room being worked on at the moment. I've just got just put a new hard drive in it, so I've actually took the hard drive that it came without because Andy wanted that back, because that's got all his films and stuff on. But I'm just putting a new one in there and playing with it at the moment. But one of the other things he gave me is a Dreamcast, and even better, Dreamcast controller. Now, I've never owned a Dreamcast. I've probably repaired 2 or 3 of them, and that was back when the Dreamcast was still a current machine. Since that, I mean, I've never owned, like I said, I've never owned one. The repairs I did with them back then, I mean, this is back when I was in college and university. I think I did a power supply repair on one, and I think I changed the laser assembly in either 1 or 2 of them. And that's really all my entire knowledge of the Dreamcast. It is horrendously yellowed. I presume this is how they all go. It's also, yeah, it's a bit rattly, but that could be. And I don't have a AV cable for it. So before I even do anything with this, I better see if I can order myself an AV cable, so I can at least see what it does, and possibly order a Dreamcast game, because I don't have any. Although, I think, can you not burn Dreamcast games? I don't think there's any copy protection on the Dreamcast, is there? I think I can just burn a disc for that to test it with. That should be okay. But I will have to get an AV cable for it, and then we'll get back and we'll play with that one. But not only did he give me that that Dreamcast, he also oops, that way around, gave me a Sega Saturn. Now, again, never owned one. I probably repaired, possibly 2 or 3 of them back when these were current, or at least reasonably current machines. And again, I think it was possibly a bad cart slot, possibly I think I might have changed the laser assembly in one. I may have repaired the power supply in one, but we're going back over 20 years now. I mean, when was this current? 95, 96, around that kind of time? And it would have probably been in the late 90s that I worked on one of these, probably around the 98, 99 time, when I was in college. So, yeah, again, I have not got an AV cable. Oh, well, actually, I believe you can get composite out of these with the what am I trying to say? Sega Mega Drive Mark II AV out. I think that's the same, which would be nice. So we could at least see if that one does anything. Standard figure of 8 cable on the back. What I don't have are any controllers that'll fit it, so I will have to see if I can find a cheap second-hand controller for it. And I'm not sure about. I don't think these you can actually just run a copied game on it. You have to do something dodgy where you put a real game in and then take it out and swap in and put the copied game in. I think that's the only way you can do it. unless there's, I think there may be a mod chip you can get for these, I'm not sure. But it's something we can look into. First thing I'm going to have to do is see how much like a controller for it is. I might just get like well, if I'm going to do that with the swapping, I do need at least one original game to play with. So I'll have to get at least one game and a controller for it before we can really even do any major testing with that. But another fun thing to play with. Now, what else have we got in the magic bag I've got down here? Oh. We've got, it's slightly beaten up, but a good old-fashioned fat PS2. It's missing its front of the CD drive, the DVD drive there, which is a bit of a shame, but I think I could probably find one of them. I don't have a PS2 fat. The only PS2 that I've got, and the one that I generally speaking use, is one of the last of the ones, one of the top loader ones. And to be honest, it works, but I prefer these. It will actually fit in my console collection in my bedroom far better than that one with the top loading lid does. So again, that's something else that we're certainly going to have a look at, seeing if we can get going, see if we can get it to do anything. I'm not going to try powering them up in this video. Like I say, I haven't even got a figure of 8 lead around here at the moment, but we'll do some proper individual videos on these consoles. I just thought I'd show you what awesomeness I got to pick up. He also gave me an Xbox 360. Unfortunately, I've not got that in arm's reach, but you've all seen what an Xbox 360 looks like. I'll have to see if I can find a power supply, some bits for that, see if I can actually get it to do anything, or I might just pull that apart for bits, might do a tear down on it. I'm not really into them, to be honest. Not if I'm going to have to spend any money on it. I'd rather spend money on things like that Sega Saturn and that Dreamcast. Another quite cool thing he gave me, SCSI CD-ROM drive. In fact, he gave me, I think, 2. Yeah. In fact, he gave me 3 SCSI CD-ROM drives. Obviously, quite handy if you're into your Amigas. With SCSI CD-ROM drive, and these are getting hard to get now, so it's handy just to have them for the stock. What is nice is that one being an external. Obviously, shame it's missing a button there, but it's identical to this other Yamaha there, so I could just swap them out and put the best one in this case. Or this case will be, I've got a SideQuest 80 megabyte removable cartridge hard disk drive kicking about somewhere that needs an enclosure. That enclosure will be perfect for it. I'd quite like to get that SideQuest up and running, so what I might do is strip the CD drive out of that and use that case to put the SideQuest drive that I've got in, and that'd be quite a cool one for the vintage collection. I want to see what's on the SideQuest discs that I've got as well. Speaking of SCSI though, this is the last thing in the lot, is a pile now. Obviously none of these are tested, we don't know if any of them work, but we've got a pile of SCSI hard drives. Now these are obviously old server drives. They look like it. What make are they? Yeah, they're Dell. These are out of file servers, and they're I mean, they're not big drives or anything, but they're probably damn dependable. They're 18.2 gig each. We've got 2 of them. We've got 2 18.2 gig SCSI drives there. They will be nice if I'll have to get the correct connector, because these are really designed just to dock straight into a docking station on the front of the computer. I know you can adapt that down to a standard SCSI and power. I've got a dual Pentium Pro motherboard that I found in all my junk the other day. and I kind of fancy building like an old school servery type computer, probably run something like NT server, something like that on it, and stick it down in the cellar to have a mess about with, really. They could be quite cool for that. I fancy running it scuzzy. So we've got a couple of 18 gig discs there. We've got, and they'd be about the right kind of size for what I'm planning on doing. What's this one? We've got that's a 4 gig, so getting a bit older. That what's this one? That's a 1 gig. That's a 10 gig. And some of these are the old SCSI 1 standard as well. This one is... This one I'm not actually even sure. It's an old IBM drive. It could be as small as like 80 megabytes. I used to have a load of these back in the 90s. I used to just use them as like mass storage. I bought a big box of them for pennies. I think I paid like £1 a drive for them, and I literally used to just put whatever I wanted on them and write on them with a marker what was on them and stick them on a shelf. Just use them as backup storage. I don't know what happened to all them. I think I chucked them years ago. Wish I still had them now. But yeah, so that's a nice old one. So we've got a few interesting old SCSI hard drives to play with when we can get the computer workshop set back up in the attic properly and actually get some stuff set up there to play with. And there's going to be some more videos coming up. Don't spare, I am rather busy at the moment, but projects at work have just gone absolutely insane at the moment. I've got rather a lot on, and I'm still trying to tidy the house up as well. And I need a new computer in here for doing my video editing on and stuff like that. And I'm on a bit of a budget. I'm toying with some ideas at the moment to try and knock together a quite powerful yet cheap computer system. I've got some ideas in mind. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I say, it was just a quick little update video and show you what cool junk I managed to pick up in the last week. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching and goodbye.